Hi, this is Dan, and I'm here to play some Risk Global Domination in this Let's Play here. So this is a free-to-play game on Steam. It's based on the board game. It's sort of a digital port of the board game. My impression is it's mostly multiplayer, but there is single-player stuff with AIs. There are multiple maps, but we're going to play here the classic map of the world, because it's a game about world domination, so we'll do this. And so the free-to-play aspect is you get sort of a certain number of tokens to begin with, and they refresh per day, and it costs tokens to start games. So, but it's like you get so many, and it's so few to start a game. It's like seems like it's not a big deal. And when you start a game, you get sort of options here, and we'll just go with this, and this will be fine. So let's make it a 6-player game here. So I'm the human player, and we'll have 5 AI players. And we'll get started here. So Risk is a game I played a lot when I was a kid, so there's a big nostalgia factor for me. And I'll sort of try to explain the mechanics of the game once we get into it, if you've never played Risk before. So what's happening here is basically we're all trying to conquer the world. And the way you do that is you have your armies in these territories. So there are 42 of these territories, which are not exactly countries, but often they correspond to countries. Like here's China, and this is India here. But over here, for example, you've got the eastern United States and the western United States. But it's sort of these 42 territories are on the globe, and you're trying to conquer all 42 of them. And the territories themselves are in these continents, and you get bonuses. Well, let me get to that in a second. So at the beginning of your turn, you get a certain number of armies sort of as reinforcements for what you have, and it's based on the number of territories you control divided by 3 with a minimum of 3. And then also if you control an entire continent, you get a bonus. So for example, if you controlled all 4 territories of Australia, you would get 2. If you controlled all of Africa, you'd get 3 extra, and so forth. And you can read the numbers there. So that's a big part of the strategy, is trying to get control of the different continents. For example, this is going to be really good for me if I can get control of Australia. And the way you get control is you attack. So you can only attack an adjacent territory, which is either something that touches directly on land, or it has one of these dotted lines to attack across the ocean. So when you attack, you go from one place to the other, and the attacking itself is a dice game. So the attacker can roll 1, 2, or 3 dice. The defender can roll 1 or 2 dice, but you can't roll more dice than you have armies that would end in the thing. So for the attacker, they always have to leave 1 behind to defend the territory they're leaving. So you sort of like subtract 1. So right now I have more than 3, so it's not an issue. I can roll up to 3 if I want, and they've only got 2 right now, so they're going to roll 2 because it's advantageous to roll more dice if you can. And then once you do roll the dice, you compare your highest die to their highest die, and your second highest die to their second highest die. And if you win one of those matchups, or whoever loses that matchup loses an army. So in that instance, he lost an army, but I also lost an army. But now I'm going to be rolling 3 dice. He's only going to roll 1 die. So, and obviously, with more dice, you have greater probability of getting a single high number. So it's better to roll more dice than less dice. But ties do go to the defender. So if he had rolled a 6 there, I would have lost, even though I had more dice. So let's go from New Guinea to Eastern Australia, now Eastern Australia to Western Australia. Alright, and sort of, when you conquer territory, your army moves with it, and you can sort of do this thing where you sweep through if you plan out your path in a way that that works for you. But the danger there is you have to... so at the end of your turn, you can only move from some of your armies from one territory to another territory you have that's connected. So you sort of don't want to leave yourself too exposed. Now, this worked out great for me because I cleared out all of Australia, and there's no other ways to get into Australia except here through Siam. So this is sort of like a really great starting position for me. I think I'm also inclined to take out Alaska if I can. Oops. Yeah, that's just a UI thing. I was trying to attack by clicking on the dice, but well, that did not work. So you see there, even though I had the advantage in numbers, he got lucky with the dice, and I lost 2 of mine, and now I don't have a numerical advantage anymore, so it's sort of, in terms of the probability, it's probably a bad idea for me to attack there. So my hope had been to sort of link up my guys here and, sort of start developing, maybe conquering Asia. But I don't think that's going to happen at this point. So now, and this is the fortify phase where you can move, like I said, from one territory to another territory. As long as there's a contiguous path. But now I've got a really good defensive position. And so what you saw there at the end is I got a card because I conquered at least one territory during my turn. And then these cards, you can, when you get 3 of them in a set, you can trade them in for bonus armies. Okay, and of course the computer players are doing this as well. And this guy's got a pretty good setup too. If he can get all of South America, that's pretty nice as well. Although there are 6 here, so yeah, if I was him, I probably would have tried to get all of South America. It's because it's just so advantageous, but he decided to stop. Yeah, I've played a few practice games. I find the AI is not, as strong as a good human player, certainly. I also, earlier this morning, I tried one of the online matches. It was a pretty good back and forth fight. I eventually won, but yeah, we played on the Italy map. It was an interesting variation on the normal play, because you sort of like, you don't have the so if you play Risk a lot, you sort of develop a feel for the various areas of the of the world, and things like, oh, I see Australia that has this defensive feature of like there's only one way in and one way out. Yeah, so see, I got 2 bonus armies for having Australia there, so that's good for us. So I think I'm gonna try. I mean, it's really hard to maintain control of Asia, but it's sort of like, that's kind of what you've got to do when you're over in this part of the world. So at the very least, we can get into China from here. Yeah, but the different maps are sort of have a different feel, I think. So I don't know. And then, yeah. I'll try to minimize commentary about that, because obviously you're not watching that game, you're watching this game. So I'd like to get rid of this yellow one here, but I also don't want to overextend myself. So I think I'm just going to stop there. And I'm actually going to balance my troops out a little bit by just moving 1 there. And since we did conquer China, we got 1 card. You always only get a maximum of 1 card, so even if we had conquered like 3 or 4 territories, we still only would have gotten 1 card. And Alcott Gojira here. I don't know. It's not a great position. go to the Pale. So, okay, now if they can take over South America, I think that's pretty good for them. Now, see, by attacking Peru first, they sort of didn't set themselves up to sweep through, but they chose not to pursue the attack anyway, so. Alright. And so one of the other mechanics is that if you completely wipe out an enemy army, you get control of their cards. So that's a way that you can really start to build momentum and steamroll the opposition. So, and I'm saying that because I'm noticing that the orange guy is not going to have too many territories left, although Inigo has to take care of South America first for that plan to work. Alright, well, there go my American guys. So, right now we're the only army that has a continent, so we have a big advantage in that way. So I think I'm going to try here to take Mongolia and Japan if I can. Bad luck on the dice rolling there. Yes, it's the ties going to the defenders. Wow. Let's stop that. Huh. I want to conquer a territory because I want the card, but alright, well, that was lucky. We had bad odds on that one, but that one was mostly for the done for the cards. I think we'll stop there. Yeah, that was just a bad turn for us. Yeah, so yeah, the problem with Asia is you get a lot of bonus armies for Asia. You get 7, but it's so big, and there are so many points of attack that it's really hard to control, right? Whereas Australia, like, we're probably going to have this a long time because nobody's going to get this unless they can bust through our front line and go all the way down here. See, and everybody else is only getting 3 troops per turn because the only thing they have is the number of territories they control. Alright, so now the purple guy has, so Elder Clobber here has Africa, which is pretty good. Okay, and the green player just traded in some cards and got 10 bonus troops, so they're probably going to do quite a bit of damage this turn. Ooh, but they got unlucky there. Alright, and luckily they disrupted the Africa for the purple guy. So that's good for us. So we're still just going to be going slow and steady. Trying to get, try to take advantage of our economic, advantage of that we get bonus. I should have not moved in with all 6 of those. We get bonus armies from Australia. So, and nobody else gets bonus armies. So, basically, the slower things go, the better it is going to be for us. Because we're just getting, and I should have probably checked the cards there. Alright, so Alcott Gojira, see if we can get South America. Went in the wrong direction. Yeah, sometimes I think the AI chases the weak attacks rather than really capitalizing on territory. Because they probably would have lost a lot by taking out these blue ones, but they would have gained so much more by having stable territory. Or a stable region, I guess each one of these is a territory. Ooh. Hopefully Bernadine doesn't go after us. Alright, Helger Clobber. So he's probably going to try to get Africa back. So I might consider seeing if we have, well, we can look right now. Okay, so the trade in here is not that great for us, so I'm probably gonna wait to see if we can get a better thing next turn. Let's just go here. So that time we got lucky with the dice. Yeah, I think I just want to stop there for right now. And we'll just send one down there. So at the beginning of next turn, since we have 5, we're required to trade in cards. But my thinking is if the orange guy gets wiped out over here, then we can take advantage of that by conquering him up here. Alright, and you go here. Well, okay, this will work too. If you go through Africa over to Brazil. Nope, he's going for Europe. Yeah, see, you can't count on the AI to make good moves. Okay, so Lavina Storm, maybe she could take out this guy. Seems unlikely that she doesn't have enough armies. Yeah. Okay. Well. So I don't want to like destroy the orange one yet, but it's so hard to not to sort of like advance in this region without doing that. Let's go here. Oh wait, we also need to do this. Yeah. could take over Africa. Or we could try. Or at least get started on it. Alright. So let's try this here. So I'm gonna, my thinking is, I want to sort of ring this guy. And, so prevent the yellow one from being able to kill the last one without at least going through me. Okay. You know, it probably makes more sense to just try to get all of Asia right now. Well, or I mean, at least these other three, rather than going into Africa. But we are going to need to get the Middle East either way, so. Yeah, that's fine. And then from the Middle East, we can go to Afghanistan. Let's just go like that. And then I think we'll call it there. That's not a great setup, but we are sort of, we're close to something good going on. So let's see what Alcott Gojira does here. Alcott. Alright, so Alcott really spread himself thin. So, go for South America, Inigo. No, he's obsessed with Europe. I mean, it's good for us. That they're sort of fighting amongst themselves rather than taking us on. Yeah, the problem is it's too hard for us to punch through and killing blows on some of these guys. So she can take out the yellow one up there. Why did you do that? Okay, and we have we could do a trade-in for 6 cavalry, but I'd rather not do that. I mean, we could try to bust through and just run over there and squish this one. We would get cards for it, I think. I mean, depending on how many cards she has. I'm gonna try it. I'm sick of waiting. I think this is a bit of a weird strategy, but I've grown impatient with the bad play of the AI here. They're just not going after who they should be going after. So let's leave a few behind. Let's see. so we were going to have to go through 2 either way. I guess we might as well go through the Northwest Territory and Greenland. Alright, let's go after Quebec. Alright, that's good. And then we can come over here. Nope, that doesn't connect. So from China to Siberia. From Mongolia to Siberia. Nope. From China to Siberia. Alright. Okay, so now we have to do a trade because we have so many cards. And so I like this. Get up some bonus troops in Siam. Okay. So what do we want to do here? I mean, partially I want to... Yeah, let me consolidate in Asia. So it's going to require some of those here. And some here. Yeah, so when the momentum goes your way, it's really gratifying. Same with that. When things slow down, it's not as good. So we did that, and then I think I'm inclined to take over Ukraine as well, because it gives us a slightly easier to defend border. But not at the cost of my troops. Alright, well, this is not a great defensive position, but I'm gonna do that. So I'm not confident we'll be able to hold on to Asia here, but we have it, and if we can, then it's going to be great for us next turn. Ooh. No, the only... Okay, yeah, so there goes Asia. Elder Clobber. Alright, so I think we could take out Elder Clobber as well, probably. Yeah, unfortunately I can't see what's going on because of that big message there. Also Get 8 of those. I think I'll hold off. So let's put 3 here. And then 4 there. Okay, and to Kamchatka. Yeah, I mean this is part of the game of Risk. The luck of the battle sometimes just goes against you. Hold on, I should make sure that's where I want things to be. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of a mess. To have these 5 guys sitting here all alone, they're not really doing anything productive. But I don't think I can really do anything good with them. Alright, Alcott Gojira. See, they're using up all their cards for their guys, so I want to use them for my guys. Alright, finally somebody's got South America. Alright, now this is dangerous. He's probably going to try to conquer Asia here. Alright, now Elder Clobber, with luck, will go after the orange guy. They'll weaken each other. Okay, or the blue one, that's fine too. Alright, so go after me, it looks like. Well, so we also have to trade in. Give us the bonus. So I'd like to, well, let's see, I think we need to put some defensive ones here. But I also want to try to kill Elder Clobber. So there I was thinking of how am I going to sweep around and end in North Africa if I can. So I decided to start in Egypt and then go south, and then I'm going to go over here to Madagascar. Because you don't want to end up sort of driving your army into a dead end that you can't sweep out of. Here we're going to have to conquer the Congo. Yeah, we're running out of steam. Oh man. I'll try one more, but I think this is... Alright, well, our plan just fell apart. Big time. these guys to the Middle East. Oh, that was bad. Alcott Gojira, if he's smart, he's gonna conquer this guy. Yeah, the Congo. Alcott Gojira's luck in the Congo. They just got a lot of benefit from that. And that's a little frustrating. I mean, it's the way part of the game. Or you can't just always, you know, assume that you're going to be a thing. That sort of that drama of thinking you've got an unstoppable wave, but then you stalling out and realizing you overextended yourself. It's sort of, you know, the theming of the game is sort of very Napoleonic era. There's kind of like a lot of that stuff going on in the mechanics of the game, of like, you know, you seem like you've got an unstoppable force, but then you know, you get bogged down, you get some reverses and things. Suddenly, you know, the unstoppable power in the world is very stoppable. Well, okay, so we have a trade in. Japan is too built up here. I think we just need to take over Africa if we can. All right, Congo. My guys have done this last turn because his guys were doing that last turn, I guess is the answer. We could go into Brazil, which would cut his armies a bit, but I think I'm going to try to stop there. Well, you know what? Maybe I should have come down this way. Let's move two of these guys. Okay, so what is Alcott Gojira going to do? He's going to get cards and conquer Africa. Ouch. Alright, he has bad luck too. Yikes, 24 armies in Japan. See that? I don't know where they went to come traffic. Well, at least he burnt a lot of them out. Lavina, I don't know. Her strategy does not seem very good. Well, can we do a trade-in? Nope. I still think we want to get Africa. So that's good. I mean, this is tempting, but like the border would be too hard to control. Right? Anywhere we go into, we're just going to be spreading ourselves thin. Speaking of which, I think I want to move my guys from Siam, even though it'll be a little bit dangerous. I'm going to go head over here to Egypt, beef up the border a little bit. Alright, hopefully he'll go for Venezuela. Ha, I failed. I guess he's going to take over Europe here. Alright, so we're going to have to bust that up. Ooh. Alright, so we got Africa and Australia there. So let's put 3 here. No, hold on. We can do more than 3 there because I want to conquer South America if I can. Let's put 5 there. Now, I want to put 3 here just so I can take something in Europe. Oh, huh. I have to trade in cards. Yeah, this is not a great trade-in, but it was mandatory. I forgot about that. So let's beef up the border defenses here. Okay, so here, invade Southern Europe. Alright, that's fine. We can only move, well, we'll move 3 in for now. Now, go after Brazil. And then swoop down to Argentina. And up to Peru. And one downside is you get that noise that shows you beat them before the animation plays. I think that's a slight anticlimax effect. Well, that's not... Well, artillery's not bad, I guess so. So with that, I mean, I might be inclined to press into Europe. Oops. I was trying to attack, but it registered as that. Let's exit the attack screen. Oh man, come on. So then North Africa to Western Europe. So this is pretty good. And let's go from East Africa to Southern Europe. Alright, so we've got the whole southern hemisphere on our side. He does have a lot of power there in Ukraine. Not anymore. I guess apparently Ukrainians don't like to be called the Ukraine. Not entirely sure why. Seems a lot cooler to me. So, but there, yeah. Ukraine was powerful a minute ago. Now, not as powerful. Alright, well, we get 14 troops. We could trade those in, but that's a weak trade-in, so I don't want to do that. I think I'm inclined to try to take over Europe here. So let's just go there. And we'll start out by seeing if we can bring these guys up through Greenland. No. Still. Alright. Not their finest hour there, as we've invaded Great Britain. And Iceland. And from there, we'll go to Scandinavia. Yeah, so, you know, as you can see, as you sort of get the economic advantage, the advantage in troops from controlling territories and controlling continents, you sort of get this steamroller effect, where we can sort of really project our power quite aggressively. And there's a question here, like if it even makes sense to want to stop. I mean, these are all better borders than we started with, so. As long as our left is holding like this, I'm inclined to try to take out the blue one. Alright, this isn't great odds, but I'm going to try it anyway. Okay. Because then that, let us go from here to here. Yeah, no. Still wanted to do another attack. So is that their... No, they still have two more. But we have all of Asia, all of Europe, also. Like, we've got most of the world now. So I think we're better off holding there and reinforcing for right now. So let's go from here up to there. So they're gonna get a few troops. They're probably gonna go after the green ones because it's an easier fight for them. So they're gonna spread themselves thin, fighting amongst and wear each other down by fighting each other. So she's probably going to attack Quebec. Fail. Oh wow, she had really bad luck. Yeah, so we get 30 troops here. We'll just put them here. And let's hack through Central America. And then Western United States. To Eastern United States. And then Ontario. Storm has been defeated. Oh, and we get cards. So we have to do a trade-in. Yeah, we'll do that. That's fine. Do that. So, go to Alberta. Yeah, so unless this guy gets exceedingly lucky on all of these rolls, we're gonna win here. Yeah, because we've got so many troops. It'd take a miracle for us to fail with this attack. Alright, and there we go. Yeah, so I am victorious. So something I guess I should talk about there is, so on the dice rolling there, I had the had it set to true random, and I was doing the dice rolling turn by turn. There was also a blitz mode where it sort of approximates the dice in some way and sort of does an all or nothing sort of attack, I think, which seems weird to me because that's sort of like optimizing past the actual fun part of the game, which is like the push your luck dice mechanic in the battles. There's that's a lot of what I find fun about the game. So it's weird to me that they the default mode is to skip past a lot of it. It does sort of make sense in online that the other players are kind of sitting around waiting while you're doing your attacks, so that tends to slow the game down a little bit. But I think, especially in single player, to me, it's a big fun part of the game. Except when you've got this like total foregone conclusion stuff like we had there at the end with our 37 armies. Yeah, but I'm having fun playing this. There's certainly nostalgia going on. I'm not sure, that this is the best, most well-designed game in the history of games. This is, it's a classic, but it doesn't. It's from before the sort of the modern board game era. So it does have a lot of issues like, player elimination. If you get knocked out, it's kind of like, is it fun to just sit there while your friends are playing? Well, in the online matchmaking thing, that's less of an issue, right? Because you're not hanging out with your friends. You get knocked out, and if you want to, you can just go and queue for a new game. Or with the AIs, there's no guilt about just crushing them mercilessly. Yeah, and there are a variety of different maps. Let me advance out here. So for winning, we got an extra token, and it only cost us 5 to start a game, and you get more, like every hour. So we'll go here, and you can see there's various maps. Earlier today, as I think I mentioned, I was playing on the Italy map. I sort of I won by sort of consolidating up here in the north, and then there was a big back and forth. So one other player had these islands here, and we kept going back and forth over this region, and eventually, it got frustrating because I would take it over, and then he would zoom in and then take one of my things, and eventually I just got sick of it and squished this island, and then consolidated. and then I was able to eventually take over the rest of the map. But it was kind of a fun back and forth, and with the human players, there's more emotion involved because you're like, oh, why, you know, when they betray you, like, you know that there's an actual human intelligence behind what they're doing. But it's also a bit slower, right? Because they have to think and move, and then there's there's a turn timer, and a few times that messed me up because I wasn't keeping track of the time well enough, so my attack sort of stalled out because I was debating over the, you know, do I want to attack or not? And that's kind of like, whoops, I ran out of time. So my final position wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be because it just, you know, my time was up. And then apparently you can buy these premium maps, and there's these different things. Yeah, and you know, presumably you can buy different avatars, and for some reason it keeps switching me back to question mark rather than Mr. Napoleon here. So, and these are locked. I'm not sure how you get them, but it's probably in the shop. And so you get the pirate pack. Yeah, so I mean, you can check this out for yourself if you want. It's free to download, free to play, you know, with these in-game tokens, and presumably you can buy more of those tokens. But I've had fun with this for what it is. I don't know if it's a long-term playability, but it's certainly giving me, at the very least, a nostalgia hit, and it's fun to steamroll the AIs a little bit. And the online game I played was kind of fun. It took a while, which is the classic criticism of Risk, is that it just takes too long to play. You know, in addition to like the player elimination stuff. So, you know, that is an issue if you're playing other humans, but with the AIs, it's a little bit speedier. So, yeah, I mean, you can make your own judgment. I'm enjoying it. I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep playing, but I'm playing for right now. So, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you come back next time. Bye!